Well, how y'all doing today? I hope y'all having a blessed day on this fine Sunday. So I'm back to work straightening out this mess. Uh, yeah, everything was covered with a really thick dust. See that? All that's been cleaned. I gotta clean other stuff now. I'm gonna make this area over here my coffee station. Uh, yeah, I think that'll work out well. So I got some things to do. I'm still doing that. Then I'm gonna have this counter over here. This will be cleared off. And I'll put something else on there. Anyway, that's what I'm working on, and it is hot here again in Little Rock, Arkansas. So, yeah. All right, so I follow a lot of prepping channels because I like to diversify my resources when learning some stuff. And a while back, I had made a video saying that quinine might be something you want to add to your prepper supplies because it can cure malaria. And I was in a live chat last night. I really enjoy that live chat. I love to be in that live chat when they have one. And the topic was brought up, what do you think you should add to prepper supplies? And, well, there's all kinds of things, but I did bring up the quinine. And I met with opposition. They said quinine does not cure malaria. All right. A gin and tonic would not cure malaria. I beg to differ. Okay. Now, a cure in medical terms means that something has been eradicated globally. All right. That's the only time really it can be called a cure. However, if malaria is caught in the early stages, it can be treated and cured with quinine. All right. It depends on how far along the person is with the malaria. Malaria has flu-like symptoms, okay? Fever, sweats, nausea, vomiting, weakness, tiredness, flu-like symptoms. And if it's caught early enough, it can be cured because quinine kills the parasite, all right, that causes the malaria. Malaria is a parasite, a microorganism, okay, and it attacks the red blood cells in the body. And it moves around a lot, as you can imagine, and it's hard to, target it. But some people have been cured, okay, so it can still be considered a cure. Maybe not technically, but yeah, it can be. Do I know this? Yes, because my ex-husband, years before we met, went to seminary and became a Baptist minister, and then from there became a missionary and went and lived in Africa and Nigeria and contracted malaria while he was there. He was in the hospital for about 3 months, and they treated it with quinine, and he was fine. All right? Now, malaria can't be spread from person to person, okay? It's in the saliva of a mosquito, so the mosquito has to already have it and bite somebody, or bite somebody that has it and then go bite somebody else, and that's how it's spread around. Can it be transferred in a blood transfusion? I really don't know. I do know that depending on how long you've been in a country where malaria is prevalent, can be anywhere from 1 to 3 years before you can donate blood again. So they treated my ex-husband and cured him with it, but they caught it early. So yeah, there is a cure for it. You should not think that that cannot happen in the United States. Now, when you think malaria, you think a foreign country, all right? But that's not so. When they built the Erie Canal, a malaria outbreak came out, and people quit, all right? They had good wages, room and board, medical, and even a ration of whiskey. And when everybody started coming down with malaria, a lot of people quit. Now, I have read where usually if there is an outbreak of malaria, the numbers of immigrants are very large. Now, a lot of people that worked on the Erie Canal were landed immigrants, and so it can be spread through immigrants. So let that resonate. There is a shot, okay, that somebody came up with. I think they won a Pulitzer for that. But again, it's just an inoculation. Doesn't stop anybody from getting it. It comes down to Big Pharma, okay? A lot of the things that they make illegal for people to have and do anymore, they use in their own medications, all right? And they charge us for it. People are getting away from that. People are getting back to being homeopathic and making their own remedies and finding out more about that, things they really don't want us to know. But you have to be careful with that kind of stuff, really, you do. Like I said, quinine is made from the bark of a tree, so it's very natural and is safe in small doses. So anything that Big Pharma is witchcraft, right? So, but there's a lot of midwives. I have midwives in my family. Both of my grandparents, grandmothers, made a lot of their own home remedies. Used to be illegal to be a midwife. Both of my grandmothers had all of their children born in the house with a midwife. Both of them had 10 kids apiece. All right. My grandmother on my grandfather's side had 12, a set of twins, and lost them. But you learn how to make do. So in a lot of the states where midwives were considered illegal, they are now licensing them, okay? They're putting some schooling, giving them some schooling and putting them to work, giving them a license. So, but yeah, it can. So, but when you consider the influx of immigrants into this country right now, you might want to consider putting some quinine in your prepping supplies, okay? And tonic water contains quinine. You can get it at Walmart. It will say right on the bottle, it contains quinine. But anyway, it was interesting, but technically it can't be called a cure because it has not eradicated anything globally. But the thought that it can be transferred from the saliva of a mosquito is mind-boggling. And it makes you have to stop and think about TB, all right? You couldn't spit. They actually encouraged the population to carry personal-sized spittoons with them so that they weren't spitting. Because TB or something like that, it produces a lot of phlegm. And people were constantly coughing and spitting, and so they need to stop that. I mean, a lot of things can be transferred from spit, saliva, if you will. So you'd be amazed. So TB was running rampant. But consider people these days, it's almost a fad, and it has lasted a while, where it looks cool to spit, right? Think on that. And I was hoping that fad wouldn't last as long as it has, but yeah, it has. So, yeah, you might want to consider that. Right? Try not to spit because it actually does spread diseases like TB and other things. And it's a precaution. So for the sake of the rest of us, please don't spit, in public unless you absolutely have to. So anyway, getting back to the subject, in some cases it will cure malaria. Quinine will. In small doses it's safe, in large doses it can kill you. So you really need to know what you're doing. Getting back to Big Pharma, I mean, it's all right for them to take the drugs that they made illegal for some to have, especially because some people abuse it. But they turn around and make their own drugs out of it and then sell it back to us. And people are getting away from that. People are getting back to being naturopathic and producing their own remedies. You should learn how to make a mustard paste. You can make your own Vicks salve. You can use lard for that. Lard is used for all kinds of things. Make a suspension in that lard of some camphor and some mint, and you'll have Vicks salve. So my grandmother went out in the woods and dug up ginger and mixed it with honey and lemon. And that was the only time alcohol was involved inside the house, because she had 10 kids. And she'd put alcohol in that, and she'd make up a batch of it before winter because kids get sick. And I had the privilege of having that cough syrup when I was visiting and was sick. And I slept for several hours, but when I woke up, yeah, that cold was gone, but it was long gone. And I had suffered with that for days. So, yeah. I suggest if you're going to get into making your own remedies, you get a book. Because if the grid goes down, you got nothing. Can't get online, can't Google it, can't listen to an audio book. But you might want to, learn a little bit about this. I want to learn as much as I possibly can. I do. We never should have got away from that way of living and became so dependent on the system, all right? But it was convenient. So, and usually that's a culprit. Anyway, so I really didn't say much in that chat room because technically it is not a cure for malaria, but it can cure some people depending on what stage they're in. And like I said, it's not like there's not an evident threat of the possibility of malaria in the States. So yeah, but it was interesting. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy that live stream. I have mentioned it before. I'm not going to mention it right now. I love their live streams. I really do. Anyway, I'm going to get back to work here, and I'm starting to get hungry. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to cook today. So thanks for stopping in. I love it when y'all stop in, and y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye.